let me keep this simple. All I've done is go online here in the UK and buy some of these bags. Key is going to be to get as much of the air out as possible. So I have to put this in the mouth of the bag. There we go. Then try and find a part of the fridge which you can keep relatively empty. Now I'm placing mine on top of these sort of grill pans so that air can circulate around. I think that's a good idea. Raise it up a little bit. And again, bear in mind you're going to want to keep this from probably 3 to 6 weeks. Probably 3 to 6 weeks. Okay, so it's been just over 2 weeks and I'm glad to say that the beef looks all right. It looks as I hoped it might. It's got that skin on the outside which has gone dark. There's no mold growing on there, which it would do if it was 4, 5, 6 weeks. That's what happens at a butcher as well. They obviously cut that bit off. So the most interesting thing is to see how much weight this might have lost. So I'll put the original weights up on the screen from earlier in the video, and this one, which is the prime, is now 1.347. So off the top of my head, it's probably lost 150 to 200 grams. And this one, which is the choice, it was a little bit bigger, is now 1.352, so they're roughly the same. So we're going to open up the bag, we're going to take off the skin. I've never done that before, so let's see how easy that might be or not. Because the whole point of this is for you to see whether it's plausible to really dry age your beef at home. It's the first time I've ever done it, and I've risked some really nice cuts of beef here, but I think it should be okay. Now that's why I've only gone for 15 days this time. In future, we'll see 21 or 28 days what happens there. So here we go. So it really does look the way that the beef that I dry aged at my butcher earlier this year looked. So it actually smells really, really good. It smells like charcuterie quite a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking the dark skin off the outside. I did watch my butcher doing this. He has a very big, sharp knife. So let's see how this one does. Otherwise, we'll try this one. It's sort of gone leathery. Okay, that's not too bad. As you can see, managing to cut it with just the tough stuff coming off. Comes off quite easily just because you're trying so hard not to waste the meat. So maybe being a bit tentative. So on top of the beef losing weight, you're also obviously losing weight this way, which is why this is such an expensive process. But you really don't want this skin to be on there. I've tasted it before. If you were expecting sort of Iberico ham flavors in your beef, then that's sort of what that would be like, except it's not what you're really hoping for with your beef. So, right, I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to go through this, and we'll be back in a second with a pristine looking dry aged sirloin. beast. So I have finished shaving off the hard, dry, leathery exterior of that prime piece. I'm obviously no pro, and I've probably been overcautious. You also get stuff that looks very oxidized. It smells a little bit vinegary on those bits, so we've ended up with just 3 steaks, but these smell clean, fresh, delicious, with that slight aged character to them. So I'm really excited to try. They have this sort of slightly more dense feeling to them now. They're not creamy and sort of falling apart like they often do when they're just wet aged. So let's get this choice piece as well. And just start cutting this off as well. Seeing how much beef you cut off here, and you think about the price of it, I mean, you're losing whole chunks off the end, and obviously not being a professional, you're losing more than a professional would, but really it's not that easy to buy dry-aged USDA beef. In fact, it's probably not possible to buy that except from very specialist butchers. Restaurants will age their own as well. So really, if you want this at home, this is the way to do it. And it should be a special experience when you eat it. But every large chunk I'm cutting off, it hurts. Again, this looks like 3 really nice steaks. It's going to come out of here. So we're losing a steak on each piece, which I hope is going to be worth it. Find out shortly. I'll be back when these are ready and we'll go ahead and cook them. Okay. So it's cooked medium rare. Cheers. Wow. That is absolutely sensational. Gonna get a little bit of the fat from the outside. Not too much, gonna cut that off. Wow. Such a complex flavour. I can't stop eating it. It's sweet, it's creamy, it's much more intense of a flavour than normal. It tastes like a dry aged steak that I've had from a restaurant. The flavour just keeps going and going. The texture is wonderful. The whole thing just feels more, what's the word? The whole thing just feels more sophisticated. It's definitely stepped everything up a notch. It's really juicy, it's beautifully tender. Every little bite had a real punch of flavour, and this is just the choice. So we already know that prime is often just much, much better. So let's go for this one. All right, here we go. Let's take the bit of fat off the end. Could this be the ultimate home steak experience? Cheers. Wow, so juicy. I'm going to try the this little sort of nugget that comes off of the side. Let's see what that's like. This is it. This is how you make a home steak taste like a restaurant quality steak. Like, think of your favorite steakhouse. Think of all that extra flavor you feel like you're getting when you're there at the restaurant and you're paying so much for that steak. And then think that you could do that at home. I have to say, this is now already beaten last week's best steak experience that I had, which was the salting. That was really special, but there's such a satisfaction in knowing that you've created this extra flavor by being patient, by using the right techniques. This has just been 15 days. I think give it 21 days and we'll really hit that perfect note. Going too much more than that, who knows at home what would happen. You don't want to play around with it too much, but we're definitely going to do some more experiments with it. So one thing I can say is that one way of getting great USDA beef without paying over the odds is to choose choice, which is 25–30% cheaper, and then dry age it, because that has really elevated that steak to be fantastic. And then the prime steak on this side, obviously special occasions, or whenever you want it. It's up to you. Me personally, I'm gonna go and finish this off and then go and have some dinner. It's always a good day when I film these. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you've learned something from this video, and we're gonna go ahead and do some more of these experiments and find out what else we can dry age and how good it is. So anyway, have a good week. If you've liked this video, please subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. It really, really helps. Comment down below, what do you think about dry aging at home? Have you done it yourself? And just let me know also what other video ideas you might have for me. All right, cheers.